controls in this story. And the blue part of the map shows what the Japanese Empire controls in this story. In this alternate timeline or alternate history, most of the Western world is controlled by the German Reich, and most of Asia is controlled by the Eastern Co-Prosperity Sphere, or rather the Japanese Empire, generally speaking. So, in this world, you can guess it, there are two superpowers, which is the Japanese Empire, and secondly the German Reich, led by Adolf Hitler, and the Japanese Empire is led by the Japanese Emperor, or Emperor Showa as they call it. So this is Adolf Hitler. He's already committed suicide in our current timeline, but in this timeline he's still alive. And
wait, okay. You there's nothing for you to read from the screen, okay? Just look at this. Yeah? Stop looking to the screen. So this is Adolf Hitler, okay?
So this is Adolf Hitler.
Then look at this.
In this story, he's still alive. And for your information, the story is set in the year 1962, roughly 20 years after the war was won. So, in this story, Adolf Hitler had a disease. I believe it's hepatitis, but in the story,
Yes, not syphilis.
Something with the syphilis.
Okay.
So his story is a dying man, and as the story develops more, it is revealed that the German Reich is in a political turmoil because people are deciding on who will succeed as the leader of the German Reich after Adolf Hitler's death. So as you can see, even in this large empire, people are against each other. They are not unified in their hearts and minds because all they want is power. They have the greed for power is shown in the story. As the story develops more, the empire falls into a political turmoil, and therefore the empire starts to fall. So no. So in this is actually an artwork from the story. So my first point is that I will analyze what the word is in this story. So in my first point is that it's on a dystopian society. What dystopian means?
Yeah, what is that?
It means that it's a rather a society in which you are not free. It is the opposite of utopia, in which utopia is like the most idealistic society, which means there are no poor people, everyone is of the equal wealth and everyone is happy. But dystopia is the opposite of utopia, which means that almost everyone is not happy, and the power is only concentrated on a group of elite people. So in this story, people are oppressed, which means that their liberties are oppressed and they are forced to support the government, which means that if I were to say that I don't agree with the government, then it would be shot, just like the picture in the artwork, where a group of soldiers surround a body, or rather a shot civilian, because she tried to as the plot states, is that the group of people is trying to put up a resistance against the Pacific States of America, or is the puppet state that controls the part of America that Japanese Empire controls. So that woman is conspiring against the government. So as you can see in the picture, it depicts Japanese soldiers surrounding the woman, and actually she was killed and shot by the Japanese soldiers. So as you can see, in this society, you are not free. You are forced to support the government. And the most saddening part is that you are occupied by a foreign power. So as you can see in America, they are not Japanese. America is not a Japanese mainland, but you are forced to follow Japanese laws and you are forced to abide towards Japanese leaders. So this is a world where basically what we wouldn't want to live in, basically speaking. So you are suppressed, and yeah, that's all. Next. For my next point is that people in this world is struggling. In fact, no, because this world was created because people are struggling before this, right? Basically speaking, before World War II, there was a large economical depression, which was called the Great Depression. And because of this depression, people start to lose jobs. People start to, well, their lives become harder. So, but because of these circumstances that the society is undergoing, leaders, public speakers, people who are able to manipulate the minds of the people are easily able to manipulate their minds. Speakers like Adolf Hitler, the Japanese Prime Minister during the time, Hideki Tojo, he was able to manipulate the people because people are desperate. Let's say that so Adolf Hitler, Adolf Hitler actually spread lies and rumors about the Jews being the blame, having to take the blame because of the economical depression that hits Germany during the time. He said that the Jews made Germany lose World War I, which was fought earlier, like 20 years before World War II started. So because of these lies, and in addition, for your information, he was deemed as the best public speaker in history, something like that. The best public speaker in history because he was able to control the minds of German people during the time.
Oh, not Abdullah Azmi.
No. During the time.
Oh, Adolf Hitler during that time.
Yeah. Adolf Hitler.
I thought it was Abdullah Azmi.
So,
Okay.
what we can learn is that we have to be rational at all times. We can't blame other people for the misery that we are going through right now. Because of that, people are able to use us for their own ulterior motives, like what Adolf Hitler did towards the German people. So, next slide. And also, as the story progresses more, that I've already told you earlier that there are only two superpowers left, which is the Japanese Empire and the German Empire. But as the story develops, that these two powerhouses actually don't like each other, which means they are planning to go to war against each other for a larger and a bloodier conflict that they have won like 20 years ago. Bloodier conflict than the World War II that we saw right now. So, as we see that, but still, they maintain the diplomatic relations, but they are conspiring against each other, which teaches us to be, to always be on the lookout. Even if this person says, "Well, I am your friend, I will always support you," we always be sure to not really put your 100% trust on anybody else, because they will always have the possibility. There's always the possibility of that person is trying to conspire against you, is trying to put you down. In this story, there's only one superpower that possesses the nuclear weapons or the weapons of mass destruction. And as the story develops more, it turns out that superpower is the Nazis. They are trying to use the nuclear weapons to bomb the Japanese Empire. So that's the background conflict in the story. And in the story, as we all know that the Japanese and the Germans are allied before this, but soon greed starts to take over, and all of the diplomatic relations, all of the ties that they have established is gone just like that because they want to control the whole world. Even I've shown you earlier that the map which depicts half of the world is controlled by the Germans. They still want to control the other half of the world. So greed of man takes over at the end. So what we can learn from this story is that we should always be
We should always be.
we should always be on the lookout of other entities or parties that want to take over our land, and we should always